What's up, y'all? This is Brother Ali. You're checking out HH4L.fr. Stay right here.
Something about me. That's my favorite subject. I don't know if you picked up on that yet or not. I never said I had a business mind. I just don't believe that quitting time exists. Ain't no finish line to this. You gotta give me mine. I really shine. My given time is this. Live and die with the grind, driven by the fist. Where do you
Because there's still things happening inside my heart that I want to share. And I want to be understood, and I want to be heard, and I also want to. I need to make things. I'm an artist, so I have to make things. Also, I need money, and I don't know another way. I didn't graduate from any school. I have no. I didn't graduate from anything, nothing. So I have to make music to live. But I also really love to make music, and I can make enough money from just performing my old music. So I make new music because I'm an artist and I love to make things.
And yo, whatever comes up, comes out. We don't put our hands over our mouth. And whatever comes up, comes out.
I think I'm much better at rapping now than I was then, but I'm not as my voice is. I learned my voice better. I learned how to construct songs better. I learned how to write songs that I can perform on stage. I learned that to write more musically so that every syllable has a place rather than just trying to smash all the words in. Now I'm much more precise with the way that I write. But I'm not creating as purely as I was on Shadows in the Sun. Because then I didn't know if anybody would hear it. And there were no expectations for me. And now I have expectations for myself. Other people have expectations for me. I have an audience. I want to be responsible about what I say. I know that now when I write words, people might tattoo it on their arm or something, and so they have to be good words, you know. Yeah. So I'm not as pure as I used to be, which is really strange, because also at that time I was just trying to impress Ant, the producer, and now I have a sense of responsibility to the audience.
This ways, but I must be insane. I can't figure a single goddamn way to change it. Help me sing it. Welcome to the United States, land of the thief, home of the slave, the Grand Imperial Guard. The dollar is sacred. Shout it out loud. Help me, please. Loud up. The Grand Imperial Guard.
He's just a different expression of the same reality that we've always had. It's a historical truth that America is in love and obsessed with empire, even though we're not supposed to be that, but we're obsessed with it. And so it hasn't changed. It's interesting that some countries like the UK, they have a symbolic leader in the Queen, and then they have a political leader in the Prime Minister. So what changes is the symbolic leadership. Bush symbolizes one thing, Obama symbolizes something different, and I love what Obama symbolized. But in terms of his policies, you know, it's not that much different. So the overall atmosphere of the country changes when the leader changes, but not really the laws or the power structure. That part doesn't change. So when Obama was the president, the vibe was really nice. He was like the host of the American party. And he's just like, hey everybody, yeah, we're doing all right. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? And now we got this narcissist. Yeah. He's just a pure narcissist. And he is a really dark man. It's pure ego. And ego is the devil on the inside. There's the devil in the unseen world that is a reality. But then there's the devil on the inside is the ego. And that one's more dangerous. And he's pure ego. Well, I think that he's an example of a person who has a lot of energy and has great gifts, but he wasn't given the gift of guidance. So he doesn't have discernment to, so I think that he has these general feelings that you shouldn't just go along with what everybody else does. But sometimes everyone's right. It's not all the time, it's not often, but sometimes the conventional wisdom is right. And so he feels like just because I'm black, just because I'm a hip-hop artist, doesn't mean that I have to be against Trump. What if I can find an angle where Trump's actually a good thing? And I understand that idea, but sometimes you have to know when to say, like, no, he's not a good thing. He's just not. There's not a silver lining, and he's not good, and there's not goodness in him. Even with others, you could say that there's goodness in them. They're just their bad outweighs their good, or their good outweighs their bad. There's definitely good in Obama. You could even say there was good in some of the Republican presidents, but there's not good in this one.
Somebody pray for me. Somebody please pray for me. Somebody pray for me. What more could you say to me?
Well, first of all, that's your good opinion that you're projecting on me. I don't know about that, but we can only see ourselves. So when we see good, we're seeing something that's in us. When we see other than good, we're seeing something that's in us. It might not be active, but it still lives in us. So like flint, like if you hit it, it'll spark. You know what I mean? Those two like stones, it'll make a spark. So everything we see in other people, it's inside us, even if it's not active, but it lives in us like fire lives in flint, And if we get rubbed a certain way, it'll come out of us too, good and bad,
What more could you say to me? Imagine how my mama felt. Obviously she wanna offer me some kind of help. Pretty white lady never probably dealt with this particular type of...
I don't think it always has to be anger. It's more pain. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, anger is just unmetabolized pain. Like we don't know what to do with our pain. And so anger is one of the ways it comes out. Sadness is another way. Hatred is another way.
It's quite beautiful music. These feelings, these bad feelings, create beautiful music.
Well, the thing that Ant told me about myself is that all my music about pain, it always has hope in it. And so that's what he said is good about my music that's painful, is it's never just pain and that's it. It's always hope with knowing the reality of pain.
Last interview we also talked about Kendrick Lamar and TDE. You really liked how they managed to merge the fun with the message. other successful rappers are doing that, like J. Cole, but less and less at the mainstream level. But there's a lot of trap music, senseless lyrics. What do you think of the evolution of rap music? Do you feel that the underground artist has the responsibility to keep a certain balance with that senseless music?
No, we don't have to. Offset anybody else's music. We don't have to balance them. They're being true to themselves, the ones that are, and the ones that are great are being true to themselves, and we just have the responsibility to be true to ourselves. So I don't worry about. I'm not concerned with the music that other people make. You know what I mean? There's a lot of underground music that has the outward forms of sincerity, but it's not actually sincere. The people are never actually vulnerable. So, you know, like there are artists that they make their voice sound like my voice, and the music might be quiet in the beginning, and then the drums come later, or something like that. But what they're actually writing, they're not vulnerable. They're not telling you anything. There's no danger for them, you know. And you know, to me, that's what it's really about. Is your ego dying? Because that's when the heart is really active. So if you create from the heart, the ego is what's blocking the heart from living, right? And so if the ego dies when you create, then your heart is really influencing your music. So it's just really heart music or ego music. So in Kendrick's music, his ego dies a lot. You know what I mean? And the same with J. Cole, and the same with other great artists. I think sometimes even Future, who just made Rapper Go to the League? That's Future, right?
No, it's...
Or is that 2 Chainz?
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz, yeah. With 2 Chainz. But Future too. Some of those, they have moments where they're being really real. You know? And then there's underground rappers that sound like that, but they're actually not being vulnerable or honest or sincere in any way. They're following what I do, and what Atmosphere does, and what Site Français does. And there's no sense. It's not sincere.
Damn, man. Man, I'm broker than the old VCR, man. I need a job. Are they hiring at your job? I got a stack of red bills at my house, man. Look like Valentine's Day at the crib. My kids eating leftovers, man. I can't fool them no more. It's job time. My God, it's gotta be more to life than this. It's gotta be a bigger reason that I exist. Work to eat, to earn my keep, and ensure somewhere to sleep and spend the weekend buying shit. Don't need economist to know I need a...
I think it depends on which one is your primary goal. If your primary goal is to make art, then you just accept whatever money you get. If your primary goal is money, then you have to make art that makes money. You know what I mean? You have to make art that appeals to the most people. And sometimes there are very rare, great people that can do both. So Cat Stevens did both. James Brown did both. Stevie Wonder does both. Joni Mitchell does both. Michael Jackson could do both. Prince could do both. So some people can do. Jay-Z does both, I think. There are rappers that do it, But most people, you're going to be stronger in one area than the other. And most people can't choose it. Most people that make popular music for the masses, they don't know how to do anything different. So they're doing all they know how to do. I'm doing the only thing I know how to do. It's not a choice. If I could make hit records, I would probably make hit records. but I don't. That's not the gift that I was given. I've never had the chance. I've never had an opportunity. If I make a hit song, I wouldn't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Like where would I take that song? Like, how would I get that song? I don't know what to do with that. You know, so yeah, my music's good. It's really good, but it's not popular music. It's just not meant for that, because I don't think that's not the kind of person that I am, and it just is what it is. You know, if I look at like what 50 Cent did, especially on Get Rich or Die Trying, like those hooks are great, so good. That's one of the best rap albums ever made. You know, and those aren't that different from what I was doing, what I did at that time too. It's not that different, but I don't have the specific thing he has. He also doesn't have what I have. He can't be vulnerable. He was, when he first started, he was talking about what it's like to really be in danger and things like that. But he doesn't know how to access his heart in the space that he's in now. So he can't do what I can do, and I can't do what he can do. Some people can do it all, though. Mostly jazz and old hip hop and religious music. Like there's Moroccan Muslim music that I really love. And then there's a singer called C.S. Armstrong that I really love a lot. He's kind of like an underground Anderson .Paak, but his music is really just really raw. Like Anderson .Paak is like, you know, he's kind of an entertainer, which is really good. I really love Anderson .Paak a lot. But C.S. Armstrong is like him, but he's not an entertainer. He's like a modern blues man, and is really dope. I really love his music a lot. I like India Arie. She still makes really dope music. I like Gregory Porter, who's like a newer jazz singer. And then I listen to my friends, like Cy Rock. I like her music a lot. I like Evidence's music a lot. I love him. I love him as an artist. I love him as a person. I really love Evidence. I always think the best one is Undisputed Truth, but I don't really know why. But I always think that that's the best one. I think, I don't really know why. I think it's the most well-rounded. It has every kind of song, I think. It's got political music. It's got a lot of autobiographical music. It's got some that's just really high quality rapping, just rap for rap's sake. And it's got aggressive songs. It's got, I think that's the best overall one. But I like the new one too. But I like Shadows in the Sun a lot too.
His big pieces of her life she can't remember. Her mind shuts down, is trying to protect her. Might be for the best to forget, but it seems like they always reappear when she least expects. Late nights we lay awake.
Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think it'll happen. The way that Slug creates right now is not like how it used to be. Like, he makes his music by himself now. So I still sit with Ant when I work with Ant. I still write the songs in the room with him. And Slug doesn't do that anymore. So I don't know. I don't think so. It's only if Slug changes back to the way that Slug would have to come back to making the music with Ant. And so I don't think that'll happen. But I would like to do it. But now Ant gives Slug a beat and he has a recording set up at home. And he just writes it himself and records it, and then he emails it to Ant. They're not in the same room during the creative process like they used to be. And So and the way that I would want to do that would be for us to all be in the same room.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was really nice.
Nice interview.
I like you guys. Thank you.
It's all gray. Can't find heaven from within that shell, but it's enough of a blessing just not seeing hell. Constant inner dialogue says just end this roller coaster ride you're on. Only one solution seems final. Slide into a hole where your pain can't find you. I wasn't there, baby girl, but I'm here. I don't know what to say, I just hear. If there's one wish I could make true, I would shoulder that pain and take it off of you. Don't run, baby girl, don't run. You gotta face what you're fighting head on. Only one thing I could say in truth, gotta deal with the demons before they deal with you. Said if I was meant to die, he would've killed me. There must be a reason that I still breathe. I don't have what it takes to rebuild me. I still believe one day that I can feel free. Then my body can be mine again. My eyes can learn how to shine again.